Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm with Miko today. Emily's getting ready for the game, the Buffalo Bills game. Go Buffalo! Alright guys, today I wanted to stop by to give you a very quick one, very good one today for your lower back pain, as far as doing some stretches and relieving some pain. We'll give you a couple quick tips on what to do or not to do when you feel like you have back pain. Alright, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so there's a lot of reasons that you might have back pain. You might lift something, or it might be something chronic over time. But the best things that you could usually do, and the simplest thing would be just to do a couple stretches to relieve the pressure on your back. And also you could strengthen the core just to make sure that your core is strong enough when you stand up, lift something, and it doesn't impact the back muscles as much. So a very simple one that you could start with, if you cannot get on the floor, you could start with a very simple one. You could just sit down and make sure that the back is straight. You don't curve it or arch the shoulders and the back forward. And what you try to do is bring one knee to your chest and kind of try to lift it up. Hold it there a few seconds, 15-30 seconds, relieve the pressure, and then go back down and you can switch side. You repeat this 2 or 3 times on each side. Another very easy one that you can do, your hamstring stretch, because one of your hamstring muscles is attached to the pelvis and pulling back on it, and that could really impact the pain that you might be feeling on your back. So you extend one leg forward on your heel, you curve up your toes towards you, you make sure that you're not arching your back, you just keep the back straight and you kind of lean forward, you try to reach for your toes. And don't try to arch your back so you could really reach the toes. It's not as much of a stretch. Just keeping the back straight and leaning forward and trying your best to touch the toes. You could do one hand, both hands, and you do the same thing onto the other side. Very good. Now the next one is called the Piriformis Stretch. So the piriformis is another muscles under the glutes, linking the back and the hips at the same time. So what you can do is go ahead and cross one leg over the other like this, and you're trying to push down on the knee while you lean forward. My piriformis is a little bit tight, so I'm not going as far down, but each time try to push the knee a little bit more forward, lean with the back, don't arch again, don't arch the back. Lean forward, push down on the knee, hold it a couple seconds there, and then you would do the same thing onto the other side. Now if you have sciatic nerve pain, that's also a good stretch to do, because the piriformis is right on top of that sciatic nerve. Again, you push down, you lean forward, and you stretch it. That's another very good stretch. Another one that people don't really think of when they stretch the back muscles is the QL, the quadratus lumborum muscles. So those muscles need to be stretched as well. And the way you do that, you could hold the side of your chair, slightly push down on the chair, and then extend one arm up toward the ceiling, and then try to reach up and to the side, kind of to the opposite corner of the room with your fingers going out to the side. And then you do the same thing again on the other side. You hold a couple seconds. You could do this 2 or 3 times each side, and that's another good stretch. Now, one thing to remember is that when you're sitting down for a long period of time, and a lot of people don't think of this, but when you're sitting down a long period of time, especially even if you're not arched, but especially if you're arched forward or leaning forward or typing, you have those ligaments that go through the spine on the back, and when you lean or you sit, they kind of overstretch a little bit more, especially if it's a long period of time. So what you want to do when you stand up, or even before you stand up, so place your hands behind your back, kind of lean back and overextend so you can really stretch. Keep the chest up, lean back slightly, try to stretch the ligaments up front and try to relieve some pressure on the ligaments in the back, because if you leave them a little bit more outstretched for that long period of time, when you stand up, because the ligaments in the back are a little bit more stretched, it makes the spinal cord the vertebrae in between unstable. So that's why sometimes you see somebody stand up very quickly and pick up something, and then they pull a muscle. They said they pull a muscle on their back. It's because that ligament wasn't stabilizing the vertebrae enough the way that they're supposed to, and you went quickly and pick up something too heavy. And that's what happened when you hear a lot of people say, oh, I just stood up and then heard something, or my back, I threw my back out. So that's usually the typical, answers that you see. So the thing not to do, don't sit for a long period of time and go straight into lifting something heavy, especially if you haven't do that stretch. It's a very good stretch, very easy to do. You could do it sitting. It's also better when you stand up. You could do it as well if you're sitting in a car driving for half an hour or 2 hours. Before you go in your trunk and pick up something like your luggage or anything, do that stretch. That's gonna save you a lot of back pain. All right, guys, so thank you again for stopping back to the channel. If you have any questions, leave it down in the comments below. Anything that you want us to address next time, we'll probably do a special one specifically for the core. Emily will be back for that next one, because you need a strong core not only to protect your back, but for everything else, your gait, your balance, everything that you need to do to strengthen your core. We will address this in the next video. All right, so if you find anything constructive or interesting in this video, please give us a like. That would really help the channel. Subscribe so you could get the next one. Stay active, stay healthy. We'll see you in the next one. All right, bye guys, have a good one.